So welcome back to the Happiness series and to day 4 of part 3. Now, as I was saying yesterday, it's very difficult to differentiate sometimes in our perspective towards ourselves and to others. And it's a two-way street, of course. If we've got into a pattern of thinking, of judging, of criticizing others, then it's only natural that when we turn that lens on ourselves, that we're going to engage in a similar type of thinking, a similar type of behavior. And that's why in this exercise, in part 3, we include not only ourselves, but we focus on others experiencing a sense of joy as well. Because as long as we're holding on to even the slightest bit of envy or jealousy or resentment or anything of that kind towards another person, it's always going to limit our own sense of enjoyment. If you think about it, as long as that thought or feeling is in the mind, as long as you're experiencing that emotion, there's no way that at the same time you can be experiencing a sense of joy. The two simply can't sort of live side by side. One obscures the other. So again, it sounds sort of so obvious, we sort of might wonder why we never do it. It's simply because it's become a pattern. But once we see the pattern, then we're able to let go of it and things start to shift. And of course, that brings us on to why we would even sort of wish anything bad on anyone else. Clearly, it is a phenomena that exists. The Germans even have a word for it, right? So there's something in the tendency to, even if we don't wish others bad, perhaps not to always wish them well, and a sense that maybe we deserve what it is they're getting more than they do. So this link between self and other, I think, becomes particularly important around this sense of enjoyment. And we'll look at this and explore this a little bit more over the next few days in part 3. But for now, as always, you can just set yourself up in the chair, make sure you're comfortable, nice and upright, remember. Relax through the shoulders, feet flat on the floor. And when you're ready, some nice big deep breaths. And with the next out breath, as you close the eyelids, just starting to settle in to the space around you. And just scanning down through the body now. So aware of how you feel physically, how the body feels, aware of what kind of mood is around at this particular moment in time, just bringing that to your motivation, your intention. No matter how you feel, just recognizing the benefits, both for yourself and for those around you, of becoming more aware of that innate sense of joy, enjoyment within yourself. And now, without trying to change the breath in any way at all, just resting the attention on that rising and falling sensation. And in your own time now, just beginning the visualization. And now, just letting go of that image, letting go of any focus of anything, any feeling of needing to do anything, and just allowing the mind to wander off and do whatever it wants to do. And now just bringing the attention back once more, back to the body, the weight of the body on the chair, feet on the floor, hands on the legs. In your own time when you're ready, just opening the eyes, still aware of the feeling that's arisen throughout the meditation, no matter what it is. And just reaffirming that intention to be present with a sense of joy throughout the day, no matter what you're doing, who you're with. And when you've done that, then you can just sit back in the chair. So no matter what you are doing today, no matter who you are spending it with, just have that idea in mind, leaving the exercise now, sort of carrying with you that sense of enjoyment, not forcing it in any way at all. As always, just noticing what it is that gets in the way. But just starting to see the tendency not only to be critical, judgmental, towards your own pattern of thought or behavior or action, but just starting to notice that in others as well. Now, this really can become a full-time job, so you may well like to take it kind of sort of quite steady. There's no need to notice every single time, but just to begin to notice it might be particular people, it might be particular places, particular situations that kind of trigger those thoughts, that trigger those feelings, that take you away from a place of enjoyment. And in those moments, perhaps just taking a minute or two just to remind yourself of how that feels in the exercise itself, to remind yourself of that sense of enjoyment. If you find it easier to sort of connect with that feeling, maybe not even thinking about the exercise, but thinking about something that makes you laugh, something that makes you smile. It might be a memory, it might be something you experienced yourself, it might be a memory of somebody else really enjoying themselves in a moment that brings you a great sense of pleasure when you think of it. Whatever it is, just looking for little ways to reconnect with that sense